going on, everybody? Safar Sadek here. In the video that I did, the SHTF Pick Me value system, I made mention of the E.L.Is that are going to be shepherding remnants of people in various locations in this country whenever shit does hit the fan. And I mean, when it really hits the fan. And I told you all about, how I was commissioned by the Most High and took it upon myself to train E.L.Is, that I call them an acronym for elect leaders of Israel, to be able to undertake this great undertaking, because that's what it is, to be able to shepherd fragments of people in various locations to places of safety where they will be kept there until the Most High see fit to deliver us out of this place. Well, there really is a book of E.L.I, and I patterned this concept after the movie, The Book of E.L.I, but there really is a book of E.L.I, and that's what this video is about. This is a companion video to that video, SHTF Pick Me value system. But in this video, you're actually going to see inside the book of E.L.I and what it's all about and the validity of it, so that, when all else fails, when the shit does hit the fan, there is hope. All right, let's look at the first page. All right, let's look at 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verses 40. And this is coming out of the Apocrypha. I've told you all about that before in previous videos, how it was a part of the original King James translation of the Bible. If you want to know more about it, you're always welcome to go do your own research. It's not the purpose for this video. Let's look at this precept here. O my people, and these are those of us that are going to make it, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle. And in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. And that's 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 40. Notice it didn't say go homesteading and growing gardens and doing like what David Koresh did and Jim Jones. And you saw how that worked out for them. Well, when this economy crashed and they reset everything, it's not going to be safe being in one place too long. All right, you're going to have to be constantly on the move, because wherever you are, the resources aren't going to be able to sustain you there for long periods of time, because you're going to be constantly at competition with other people trying to get, a hold of these resources too. So don't think that you're going to be able to stay somewhere for a really long period of time unless the Most High says otherwise. Other than that, you're going to have to constantly be on the move. Read Ezekiel chapter 12 verses 1 through 6 in correlation to this precept right here, and you'll see the preparation that you need to be doing. All right, now some of these I had to squeeze them in here so that I can get not have all these different pages and everything. So if necessary, I'll blow them up. This particular one here, I'll blow it up a little bit more so it'll make it easier for you to see it. Let's look at Isaiah chapter 32 verses 2. This is our E.L.I credo in the E.L.I's training series that I have on BitChute, which is extremely intense, and it covers everything that a man is going to operate in this particular shepherding role could possibly encounter, and how to counter it for his own protection. But like I said, that's not the purpose for this video, but I do have to make mention of that because this work has spanned, oh boy, 2 years. Yeah, 2 years, I believe. No, actually longer than 2 years. Yeah, actually longer than 2 years. So, okay, let's look at Isaiah 32 and 2, the E.L.I credo. And a man, primarily a black, masculine, authoritative man, this society's worst nightmare, shall be as an hiding place from the wind, from everything that's coming, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. And that's Isaiah 32:2. So though right now we're like at the bottom of this society, but we are coming up. But even among the black man in general that's coming up right here, we're about to rise when everything else is gone. We're going to rise out of the ashes like the phoenix. Phoenix. That's where I am right now. Anyway, let's go to the next page. Now I'm definitely going to have to blow this up here. Now, here's some benefits. This is specifically to you women out there, and yeah, some of you sisters too. There will be some protectors out there when everything crash and burn. We're not for this society as it stands. That's the reason why you haven't heard of us. We're not for this society. There's plenty of simps, and you got law enforcement and all this other stuff for your protection now. But when all that stuff fails, that's when we come out into the so-called mainstream, if there is one at that time. But here's some benefits of you following, should you be blessed enough and fortunate enough to be able to run into one of these men and he decided to take you under his wing. Here's some fringe benefits. Let's look at Job chapter 5, verses 19 through 23. He shall deliver thee, talking about the E.L.I, in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death. So it's one of the main benefits, because of these food shortages, there's going to be extreme famine on this side of the world, here in this country, within the next couple of months. It's going to be unprecedented. But the E.L.I, as it's written here, verse 20, in famine he shall redeem thee from death. Well, that means you're going to be, we'll be eaten. At least the E.L.I will. And in war from the power of the sword. In other words, from the deadly effects of various weapons. Just like in the movie, The Book of Eli. Just like that. As a matter of fact, those were black men, the Hughes brothers, that produced that movie. They had these precepts right here. That's where they got the script for that movie from. So this is not something they just made up. No, they went into the scriptures, and most of which I'm showing you right here. They'll never come out and tell you, but I know in the spirit, this is where they got that stuff from. So you women, just like that woman Solara in that movie when she got with him, as long as she didn't touch that book that he had, they were good. You saw it portrayed in the movie. Well, when all hell breaks loose, you're going to see this stuff portrayed in real life. It's going to be something to behold. All right. Verse 21, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue. So people that are out running their mouth and, turning people in when this thing gets crazy and, hey, I seen them go this way, and people, betraying one another and this and that, the other, like it's talking about in Matthew chapter 24, Mark chapter 13, and Luke chapter 21, we'll be safe from that. So from henceforth, I'm going to say us, because us being the E.L.I.s, first and foremost, or whoever's under our care will be under this protection. So I'm going to say us from henceforth. All right. So we won't have to worry about people running their mouth and all that. Neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh, because destruction is going to come on various levels. Various levels. We ain't going to be afraid of that. Shouldn't be anyway. Verse 22, at destruction and famine, thou shalt laugh. I'm going to pause for a second and let you think about that. All right, enough of that. Yeah. While everybody else is screaming and going crazy and literally losing their freaking minds, not us. We'll be laughing at the situation. So that's saying a lot, okay? It really is. Watch this. Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast of the earth. That's a big one. Because when this stuff starts popping off, there's going to come a point to where animals are going to start attacking people. You got these people that work at these zoos now, especially these bleeding heart women. Oh, I just can't bear to see them in these cages like that. And Most High going to put a spirit on them, and they're going to open up every one of them cages and let them animals out. That in conjunction with all these wild animals and these so-called domesticated animals, they're going to go on the attack. They're going to go on the attack. I've done videos about this, but they're on BitChute. I think I may have done one and put it on here. I'll have to go back and look, but yeah, it's gonna be hell. We won't have to worry about that. Verse 23: For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field. You'll have to figure that out when we get to this point. And the beast of the field shall be at peace with thee, while they turn everybody else up. I'll take that. And that's Job chapter 5, verses 19 through 23. Sounding pretty good. You're going to have to be under one of us. All right? I mean, I know y'all can't stand this right now, but that's Most High is going to flip the script. So in order for you to survive everything that's coming, and I ain't talking about just any black man, you have to have already been trained in this. I've been doing this for over 2 years. And the men that have followed me have been under me for at least that long. Go back and watch the video I did, SHTF Pick Me Value System, you women specifically. And you watch these two videos together, you'll get somewhat the full picture of what's going on. All right. Let's look at Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 25. This is interesting in correlation with what we just read. And I will make with them, talking about us, E.L.I's and all the other ones scattered out all over the place. And I will make with them a covenant of peace, and will cause the evil beast to cease out of the land, at least where we are. And they shall dwell safely in the wilderness and sleep in the woods. All about that. And that's Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 25. Because when we're out moving about and everything, animals are going to move. They're going to transition from their natural habitat in a lot of these woods, and they're going to move into a lot of these cities. Why? Well, that's where most of the food's going to be at. Not us. But even if we are in there, they're not going to come near us. They're going to get everybody else. All right? We're going to have that supernatural anointing of protection over us and provision. All right? Most High is going to reestablish that. And you women, you're going to appreciate that. Whereas right now, you know, you're talking all this, you know, cash money shit and everything. Okay, that's because you're thriving in this society as it is now. When it crash and burn, you're going to have to come to us. All right, I'm definitely going to have to blow up this one here. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 28. For of a city there shall be 10 left. Now I want you to think about a city like New York, and that I'm mentioning New York today being the 11th of July. They just put out a public service announcement, you know, trying to get people in that city proper area to get prepared for a possible nuclear strike. Now imagine a city as large as that, and something like that happened, and out of a city that large, only 10 people left. I want you to think about that. Think about, try to wrap your mind around the scope of something of that magnitude. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, being out in the woods and the wilderness and places like that. And there's plenty of national forests in this country, from coast to coast, from Canada to Mexico. And 2 of the field which shall hide themselves in the thick groves, talk about like the thick national forests and stuff like that, and in the clefts of the rocks or in the cave systems, plenty of them across this country. These are places where we're going to be hidden and holding up at. Not all of us, but, you know, depending on where you are in the United States. It's something y'all need to think about. So right now, while you're at home in your AC and this, here, that, and the other, When this stuff start, going sideways, I want y'all to keep this in mind because you're literally looking at a few pages of the real book of Eli. Ain't nobody else ever told you this. You saw it here because I had taken this work off of YouTube before they shut my original channel down and took it over to BitChute, and that's when I really started drilling these guys on every aspect of being an Eli. And so now here we are, right at the cusp of all this stuff happening. Now I'm bringing the existence of us back over here to YouTube to reach out to you guys and ladies over here before this thing goes down. So I know eventually they're going to shut this channel down, but at least I would have introduced you to the existence of Eli's that have been training for at least 2 years. There is hope. All right. Have to blow this up here. These are familiar precepts, some of them, and some of them not so, especially if you're not familiar with the so-called Apocrypha. Let's look at Psalms chapter 91, verses 5 through 7, and then 8 through 11. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night. Wait till the lights go out in this place. You'll understand what that means then. Nor for the arrow that flies by day. It's not talking about arrows like bow and arrows. This is indicative of missiles and other type of flying type weapons and stuff like that. You're not going to be afraid of that stuff. Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness. You know they're bringing one out now. We just got over one that I still believe was bullshit, but that's just my opinion. Now they got this other one, starts with the N and ends in pox. Yeah, that one. I got to try to deal with YouTube, a bunch of pansies. But you ain't going to be afraid of none of that crap. All right? Nor for the destruction that wasted at noonday. Yeah, it was talking about, arrows or missiles flying today. It doesn't matter what it is. Gunfights, knife fights, whatever. You're not going to be afraid of this stuff because you're going to be under a masculine, authoritative Eli that has been well trained. All right. Verse 7, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. As long as you're under the protection of a legitimately trained Eli, you're going to see all this destruction. But as long as you're up under that supernatural protection and provision of the Elis that I'm bringing us out into the open now, don't worry about this stuff, man. Verse 8, only with thine eyes shalt thou see, or shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Because all this judgment, that's what it's for the wicked, whoever they may be. You better hope it ain't you. All right. Verse 10, there shall no evil befall thee, because you're going to be under protection of that man. Isaiah 32:2. Neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling, wherever it is we're going to be at. For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. And that's Psalms chapter 91, verses 5 through 7 and 8 through 11. So the angels are already here among us, disguised as men. Some of the angels are going to appear as men to guide us Elis, to guide you to places of safety and, things of that nature. So this ain't going to just be, us just, I think I'll go over here. No. There will be extreme, it's about 11:55 where I am right now. There will be extreme angelic intervention in this. This is not going to be just us just wandering around. Like I said, we've been training intently for at least the past 2 years, getting ready for all this stuff. While everybody else has been on social media debating this and the gender war and this and that and blah, 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 blah. Okay. The work that was commissioned to me goes beyond that when all that ceases. There is hope. Okay. There really is. But it's only for a select few. I'm going to say this before I continue. You women, if you haven't seen that video, the SHTF pick me value system, you better go watch that after you watch this. And you better start working on that now. Because after all this stuff happens, chances of you getting picked in, because you need to be doing it now. All right. If you admit to know this, the Most High will lead and guide you to what you're looking at right now. If not, we'll see. Let's look at Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 4. And I will set up shepherds over them. Talking about you all that are supposed to make it out of this. Which shall feed them. And they shall fear no more. While everybody else, while everybody else is going crazy. You notice that's a reoccurring theme. No fear, no fear, no fear. Okay. That's going to be huge when everybody else has done lost it. Nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith the Lord. Do you see that? So that man is going to be responsible for your protection as well as your provisions. The angels are going to lead and guide him. I have a screenshot that I'm going to show you all at the end of this, you know, as I talk about that, and then we'll be done with this. But not a lot of people are going to get to actually see the inside of the real book of Eli. If you're here watching this video, consider yourself blessed. And don't just watch this and be like, okay, yeah, this is just another video. Hey, when all hell breaks loose, because I taught all the Eli's to have a journal on their person while they're moving around. And not only will it have these precepts, but it have a whole lot of other stuff in them too. Not for you to look at, that's for him. And for him to communicate between him and the angels and to write things down. And a lot of this stuff right here should already be in those books. So that's good news too. There really is a real book of Eli. And see, you all are just finding out about this. We've been doing this, all right? All right. I'm going to show y'all too many more pages. All right, let's kind of blow this up. Watch this. Now, the angels are going to be in charge of this here. Let's look at Isaiah chapter 45, verses 2 and 3. I will go before thee by way of the angels. It's important that you know that. And make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass and cut in asunder the bars of iron. That's just simply saying, when all this stuff go down and everything, I'm going to send my angels before you, and they're going to lead and guide you beyond all obstructions and beyond all obstacles and anything, you know, that's going to block your path to get into the resources that you're going to need to sustain yourself and the people under you. I'm going to put my angels in charge of that. Now watch verse 3. And I will give thee the treasure of darkness. In other words, resources that are hidden right now. I'm going to cut this up when I finish this precept. And hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord, which called thee by thy name, am the power of Israel. And that's Isaiah chapter 45, verses 2 through 3. Why do you think the Most High put it on these white people primarily to do all this prepping and everything? A lot of these bunkers underground, they're not going to make it. Some of these people are already dead. Y'all just don't know about it. The Most High allowed them to do all that prepping and stocking and prepping and stocking and putting these places underground and everything. Then they went on back to wherever they actually live, because they bought that piece of land several states away and put those places there. They're well stocked and everything. They didn't make it back on their way back home. Some of them, they didn't make it. Nobody knows where this place is, where a lot of these places are. And when all hell breaks loose, a lot of these people are going to be hell bent on getting to these places. The Most High is going to put the spirit of procrastination in them. And instead of them leaving weeks in advance, actually, they should already be there by now. He would put the spirit of procrastination in them, because they still want to have one foot in this society and then have the assurance that, okay, when all this crash and burn, then we'll just skip town and go to our secret place. They're not going to make it. They're going to get caught up in a mad dash with everybody else that's going to, you know, take off like a spook herd of cattle. They're not going to make it. A lot of these places are for us. and the locations are hidden, and they will remain that way until we're out and about. Then once we're right there, then the angels, because the angels are going to be leading us, using various methods supernaturally to lead and guide us to certain places in dreams, visions, thoughts, things like that. And then when we get right to where we need to be, then that's when these places will be revealed. All right. And before I go to the next page, I'm going to take this moment right here to show you this screenshot. Look at this screenshot right here. We'll all, let's say we're in a group of 10, all right, under myself, because I'm the master E.L.I. I'm the one that started all this. And like Paul said, he was the master builder. I'm the master E.L.I. Let's say there's 10 of you all up under me, and we're out somewhere, and all of a sudden one of y'all stumble up over a hatch to underground bunker, kind of sort of what was portrayed in that movie The Road, if you ever saw that. And the angels make sure it gets open and everything. We go down in there and ta-da, this is what you see. And it will be enough provisions in this bunker, per se, for everybody to sustain. And, we'll set up camp, not necessarily inside here, because all of us being in there, cooped up in there, it's not going to, probably haven't washed in a week or so and everything. You don't really want to be that close to people cooped up in a place like this. But we'll encamp around it, and the angels will have guard around it as well. And so whenever we need provisions and everything, hey, here it is. We'll go here, get what we need, and to be able to sustain ourselves and this, here, that, and the other. So I thought I'd show this to you all in this part of the video to help, affirm and increase and enhance your faith. Y'all gonna have to invest your faith into this, because when all hell breaks loose, what else is there? We have been training for at least 2 years bare minimum. Okay, so we do exist. I'm just showing you the scriptures and everything that I used, as well as other training aids to get us to where we are now. I'm just scratching the surface with y'all. All right, so there that is. All right, we're back over here. We have another precept. Let's blow this up so you can see it. Don't do that. There we go. That's what I want right there. All right, let's look at 2nd Esdras in the Apocrypha, chapter 2, verses 27 through 29. Be not weary. That's how it starts out. For when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, which is what I'm talking about, SHTF. And I'm not talking about personal SHTFs that, some of us have been through. No, I'm talking about when this whole society is catching hell because of some big event that's just around the corner. Others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. You're going to have leadership too. So if you have a problem, especially with masculine black authority now, I mean, it sucks that you got this far into this video, but if you're having trouble submitting now and joining the SHTF Pick Me Club now, you ain't gonna, even if you do run into an E.L.I, he gonna be able to see right through you. Now you're gonna have to go. Or if I let you be in my group, because leopard can't change his spots. You're gonna keep acting up and bucking authority and leadership and everything. And as soon as we come up on some people that's got resources, guess what's gonna be used for currency for those resources? You. Hard head. So something you might want to think about, now, and start reprogramming your mind. So while everybody else is catching hell, you're going to have, verse 28, the heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord. Verse 29, my hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. You're going to have the angels around. Y'all may not be able to see them, but your job is to follow and to submit and to listen and this, here, that, and the other. That's 2 Ezra chapter 2, verses 27 through 29. Everybody else's kids, they gonna we're coming up on the worst time in recorded human history. You need us more than you think you do. Maybe not so much now, because this society lets you do whatever you want, and they support you in that. That's why you feel that way. When this comes, that ain't gonna work. I'm just here to tell you. All right. Last page. I ain't showing you no more. You just have to experience the rest of it. I know I'm gonna have to blow this up. Check this out. Let's look at Isaiah 65, verse 13 through 14. Therefore, thus saith the Most High, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. So a contrast is being made here. What's it gonna be? You're gonna swallow your pride, submit to an authoritative, masculine black man or white man or whatever, and get these benefits, or you're gonna be like everybody else. It's time to make a choice. But ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. So I'm not even worried about the fact that I'm over here in Phoenix, Arizona, and Lake Mead and Lake Powell is drying up, and people around here starting to panic and this, that. I ain't worried about it. Not one bit. And it's hot over here too. I ain't worried about it. All right? It is what it is. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Yeah, ashamed of all that cash money shit you was talking now. You're going to be ashamed of that then. Verse 14. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart. And shall howl for vexation of spirit, and not get nothing to eat. That's going to be a major contributing factor to that. That was Isaiah chapter 65, verses 13 through 14. So who wouldn't want to be under an Eli? I mean, I'm just saying. All right, last precept. I thought I was going to have to, go into that picture, but I decided to put it before I got here, so I don't have to do it at the end like I said. Let's look at Jeremiah 15:11. The Lord said, verily, it shall be well with thy remnant. Talking about the remnant of you all that are going to be scattered all over the place that were actually chosen to survive all this crap that's coming. Verily, I will cause the enemy to entreat thee well in the time of evil and in the time of affliction. Jeremiah 15:11. So, I mean, I ain't worried. We wasn't preparing to come up and be high value men in this society. Why? Because it's getting ready to get taken away. So that would have been counterproductive right there. All this crap crash and burn and blows away, we will emerge, just like in the movie The Book of Eli. So my question to you all, especially you women, who wants to be under an Eli? Now that you know the concept of an Eli, what it's all about, and this here, that, and the other. So like I said, I'm going to keep telling you, referring you back to that video I did, SHTF, Pick Me Value System. Go watch that video, get yourself together now. Make yourself publicly known. Don't worry about all these other hyenas. Who care about them? They're going to be done away with. It's time you can start formulating your self-preservation contingency plan. We're it. Because the Most High is not going to be dealing with any women. When this stuff goes down, it's going to be him, the angels that he already have dispatched here, and the Elis, the real ones. Let me go. Well, I'm glad I said that. It's going to be a lot of dudes that are going to, they may have heard of this or whatever, or just opportunists of the worst kind. They're going to be springing up like weeds everywhere. Hey, y'all follow me. They're going to have all these, tactical gear on, or what they in the prepper community they call tactical. Real Eli's are going to be what's known as gray men. You wouldn't even be able to pick us out of a crowd. Okay, so that's one gem of knowledge right there. Anybody that's flashy and look like a prepper and this and that and the other, chances are that's not a legitimate Eli, because I taught them better than that. I taught them better than that. So, and these are going to be your so-called alpha males that are real, they're masculine, but they're real loud and everybody, focus on me and this and that and the other. True Eli's are Sigma and Omega males. Aloof, back off in the cut, always observing and watching, never outspoken or this and that and the other, not quick to draw attention to oneself. Especially during these times when everything goes down, people are going to be looking to steal. You think these little young knuckleheads are carjacking people and beating up on and bullying old people and all this and raping women, and you think they're doing all this crap now and getting off? It's going to be a free-for-all when all this stuff really starts kicking off. I'm trying to tell y'all. So, it would be in the best interest of a legitimate Eli to blend in like a chameleon. If you are a part of the SHTF Pick Me Club because you watched that video and started getting yourself together, realizing that this crap is done, it's over with. America will never be great again. America will never be again. That's it. After the pandemic of 2020 was our exiting strategy. It's going downhill from here. So all you women that can, wrap your mind around that and look beyond yourself for a change and see the writing on the wall and everything that's going around you and get yourself together, you will be marked supernaturally. There's going to be a lot of fake pick-me's when every woman's going to be a pick-me at this time, during these times. I mean, it's about self-preservation. And you're going to have a lot of dudes that are going to want to, take advantage of all this, and they're going to end up getting a lot of people killed, themselves included. There are going to be a lot of Eli's that were trained that are not going to make it. I'm just telling you what it is. All right? And the regimen that I put them through is basic training, military, excruciating. Because I've been to basic training twice. So I know the psychology. I know how the game was played. And they not only were subjected to these precepts, but a whole lot more than y'all never heard of. And I've been grilling them and grilling them and grilling them. And when they started whining and crying, I started grilling them even more. I turned the heat up triple. Ain't no pansies or candy asses. I'm either going to make you or I'm going to break you. I have an inner circle of 4 gentlemen right now that made the cut because they were with me from the beginning. And I grilled them and I still grill them. Because we're coming up on the most serious times in human history. There'll never be another time like what we're getting ready to face, nor has there ever been in times past. So it has to be like this. Because there's going to literally be pure hell on earth. The dimension of hell and earth has already been merged. That happened on the 24th of June when all the planets lined up. It created a wormhole and sucked this reality into another reality that's getting ready to start really turning up day by day by day until some huge event's going to happen. It's going to trigger a bunch of other events. And shit's going to just get worse and worse and worse and worse. Y'all going to go to sleep and wake up. Most of you going to wish you stayed asleep. It's going to be the thing. It's going to be a reality that horror movies are made of. And then some. So there is hope. And we're it because, like I said, the Most High, ordained me to do this work. Go watch SHTF Pick Me value system, and I give you a brief history of who I am and what I have done over the course of the past year and a half, or 2 years, but excruciatingly over the course of about a year and 9 months. That's my testimony in that video, and it adds to my credence, and my inner circle can vouch for me because they were with me the whole time. Not literally, but they supported me the whole journey, still do, because I couldn't have taken the undertaking this great and done it by myself. It wasn't meant to be done that way. Okay? But thanks to the Most High, all praises to the Most High, I made it in one piece. I'm still in my right frame of mind. And, you know, it's been a joy doing this work. It really has. It's the best fucking job I ever had. Excuse my Portuguese, but it is. This journey was a journey of self-discovery. I didn't even know who I was until I ran on this journey a year and 9 months ago. I had no clue who I was. I know now. Oh yeah, I know now. I know what I can endure, where there's room for improvement, and blah, blah, blah. All right, that's it for a look into the real book of Eli. Deuces.